5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 552 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Another day here in the arena, guys. The beat rolls on with Major League Baseball. We're going to get right back to doing what we love to do in the summer months as we await the return of football. That's right, grinding MLB. So I do have a 3-pack of sweats for you today, guys. All three pretty short money line favorites, or one's kind of a pick'em type price. But all three of them have a rhythm edge. 2 of them have a really good sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel. And one of these bets has not only 3 rhythm recommendations lighting up in their favor, but 2 of them are Green Star Smart Signal recommendations. So the beauty of Rhythm, who does a great job of powering this podcast and giving us these AI-backed models and predictions, is that, you know, you can kind of approach it in different ways. A lot of people just want to say, hey, give me your best rhythm recommendations. I'll tail them. You can pick and choose. What I like to do, if you might know by now, is to start with the betting market. So I leave Rhythm to the very end. Rhythm is kind of like my last box to check off. And if I can basically start off by looking at all the games that day, okay, which teams are taking in sharp line movement? Okay, that's box number 1. Box number 2, what are the bet splits? I'm looking for low bets, higher dollars, ideally sharp contrarian at DK and Circa in their favor. Then I have my own system matches based on, you know, those specific set of parameters, teams in that spot, how do they perform historically, other supplementary factors, of course. But then the last angle is I pop open Rhythm, and if Rhythm is with me, that just gives me more confidence to fire on the bet. If Rhythm is against me, sometimes I take a step back and say, okay, am I, overlooking something? Am I injecting my bias into the equation? What's the deal? But it's great to see always when you can have bets that you make based on a data-driven perspective be backed up by Rhythm. So 3 bets overall, 2 NL teams, 1 AL team. We'll see if we can get 2 out of 3 eke out a winning night. Now, looking back toward last night, guys, that's what we did. 2-1 plus 0.52 units. And I'm always going to mention this. We're always trying to grind out winning nights. So if you go 2-1, you make a half unit, you should feel a sense of accomplishment. But there are some times where you go 2-1 and you're annoyed. And I'm annoyed by the St. Louis Cardinals because the Cardinals had a 2-1 lead going into the bottom of the 9th against, I believe, the worst team in baseball, the Angels. If they're not the worst, they're first, second, or third worst. I think they are the worst, though. But what happens? They bring in this guy, O'Brien, who, unbelievably, I was DMing with my guy, Darush. And actually, O'Brien, I guess, is pretty decent. He made the All-Star team, although a guy with a 3.76 ERA, I guess he's got the second most saves, but a closer with an ERA of nearly 4, that's not very impressive. But what does he do? He ends up going only a third of an inning. He gets Mike Trout out, up 2-1. It's like, okay, 1 out, nobody on. And then he proceeds to completely blow the save. So just pathetic, puts guys on. And then when you had the bases loaded in a 3-0 count, it's like, okay, you get throw right down the middle, make this interesting. The guy's not going to swing 3-0. What does he do? He completely plunks the guy and just, walk off hit by pitch. So that was annoying. When you're up 2-1 against one of the worst teams in the league and you get the first guy out and then you lose on a walk-off hit by pitch, that was freaking annoying. So the Cardinals, brutal. That should have been a win. But as I mentioned, we gotta take some satisfaction in a winning night, which is always the goal. Red Sox came up absolutely massive, 14 straight wins now. The Red Sox, it was back and forth. They were up, then they were tied, then they were down. Massive homer by Caleb Durbin to get the winner there, and then Chapman ended up closing the door. It wasn't easy. Line drive to shortstop. Cheng made a great catch, but the Red Sox came through for us, beating Baltimore, and then the Nationals. Big winner there, 7-3 over Colorado. So 2-1 plus 0.52 units. But again, there are nights where you go 2-1 and you scratch and claw, and maybe at one point you're looking at like a 1-2 or an 0-3 and you're happy with a 2-1. Then there are those nights where you're annoyed you didn't sweep the board. But again, we'll take that victory for a winning night. We'll reinvest it into today and see if we can produce another 2-1, which is always the goal. With that being said, let's waste no more time. Nothing but Major League Baseball here, guys. So let's get right to it. I got a 3-pack for you. I wanted to mention real quick the Red Sox because It's unbelievable what's going on with the Red Sox, and I did not bet on them tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, they are just so hot, it's unbelievable. They might win anyway, but they're originally going to start Ranger Suarez, because I had a bunch of people I tweeted about the Red Sox last night, and again, I hated this team the first half of the year because I really can't stand John Henry being a cheapskate owner. You buy the Red Sox for, I think, like $600 million. Now they're worth $5 billion, and you refuse to pay for players. You trade away Devers to dump a contract. You won't sign Bregman. I hated Craig Breslow, the GM. Obviously, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan, so they've won me over again. But people were DMing me saying, hey, you riding the Red Sox again today? I'm actually not, and I'll tell you why. Would I love to bet them if they're sharp? Yes, but there's too much unforeseen, angles here tonight. Number one, it was supposed to be Kyle Bradish against Ranger Suarez coming off the injured list. Suarez got scratched, and it's going to be this lefty Rivera. The Red Sox at the time were like minus 130, minus 140. Now it's like a pick'em game. You look at the splits right now. Red Sox are getting 85% bets, 78% dollars. So kind of a red flag. Anytime you're getting more bets than dollars, never a good sign. That's kind of a public play. That's at DraftKings. And then over at Circa, they're getting 63% bets, only 35% dollars. So if you tell me you like Baltimore, I'm not going to argue with you. It could also be a rainy night at Fenway, so weather could be an issue. Either way, guys, the line went away from the Red Sox. It could get rained out. You had a pitching change, and the bet splits actually look better on Baltimore. So, no, I'm not riding the Red Sox, although as a fan with no money on the line, just me being a fan, of course I'm rooting for them to win 15 straight. But I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, the games that we do have bets on. Let's waste no further time and get right to it. First bet on the board, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, first pitch. Let's go down to Hotlanta, where the Atlanta Braves are hosting the San Diego Padres. Let's talk line moves, bet split system matches. I'll give you my play for this one. So, Braves come in 58-41 on the year. Took last night's series opener 3-2. Hung on as a minus 135 home favorite. In tonight's rematch, the Padres are going with the righty Walker Buehler. Padres, meanwhile, below 500, 49-51 now. They've really slid. And they annoyed me with one of the worst losses of the year. This was a game over the weekend. I think it was a 5-1 weekend, or maybe it was Friday night. Either way, it was a few days ago. But they were down. They clawed their way back, and they had a 3-run lead in the ninth and blew it. So, Padres, you owe me another loss today because you blew it for me the other day when I bet on you. But anyway, they're going to send out Walker Buehler, the righty, 5-5, 5.36 ERA. Braves, meanwhile, going with the righty Reynaldo Lopez. He's 4-2 with a 3.50 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened with the Atlanta Braves around a minus 135 home favorite, San Diego around a plus 115 road dog. And sharps, sticking with the Braves at home. We've seen this line move further up toward Atlanta, minus 135 up to minus 140, minus 145. I'm seeing some shops, I saw one shop as high as like minus 150, minus 155. So all movement and liability has been in favor of the Braves. That's the first indicator to go Braves tonight. Then we look at the splits. At DK, Braves are getting 86% of moneyline bets, 93% of moneyline dollars. At Circa, 73% of bets, 95% of dollars. So line move toward the Braves and low bets, higher dollars, one-way splits at both DK and Circa, also on Atlanta. Then we get into a system match. First one would be just classic non-division favorite, lack of familiarity, typically benefiting, quote-unquote, the better team. But here's a system that I really like. If you're a home favorite with a winning record, you're minus 150 or less, and you missed the playoffs the previous season, and you're taking in line movement. So I know it's a little bit wonky, but those parameters, if you meet those parameters, Braves would match. Those teams are 56-36, 61% win rate, 7% ROI this year. Braves have the better bats, hitting 250. They've scored 492 runs. San Diego's hitting 228. They've scored 407 runs. And in particular, we got two righties on the bump. Braves are hitting 256 against righties. That's the fifth best in baseball. Padres are hitting 225 against righties. That is dead last, the worst in baseball. Lopez on the road, 1-2, 4.21 ERA, not great. But at home, 3-0, ERA of 3. He's home tonight, obviously. I want to fade Walker Buehler. Buehler has posted a 16.36 ERA in 3 July starts. He's given up 20 earned runs and 11 innings pitched. At home, 4.58 ERA, not great, but on the road, 6.50. So I want to back Lopez at home. I want to fade Buehler on the road. Braves also 30-19 at home, 42 and 27 in night games, so they're good at home, good at night. They're at home tonight. Meanwhile, the Pods, 22 and 27 on the road, 27 and 35 in night games. So we got the line moving toward the Braves. We got good bet splits, system matches, hopefully better bats. Hopefully we have Lopez greater than Buehler. And then lastly, popped open juice reel. Nothing huge, but a 2% positive sharp mush edge on Atlanta. So the sharps who have downloaded juice reel, like you guys out there listening, also leaning Atlanta. But then also one rhythm recommendation lighting up on the Braves. So first bet for me, guys, I took the Atlanta Braves. I got them minus 140 at the score. Shop around a lot of books now, minus 145, minus 150. Let's go Bravos. Next bet for you. Let's go right back to the Rocky Mountains. 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time, Washington Nationals visiting the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Nats came up huge for us last night, won 7-3, came through as a minus 130 road favorite. Meanwhile, the Nats tonight in the rematch are sending out the righty Miles Michaelis. He's 3-7 with a 5.53 ERA, and the Rockies are going to go with the righty Michael Lorenzen. He is 3-9 with a 6.22 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this is very interesting because we actually opened this game with Colorado as a short favorite. Colorado minus 115 at home. Washington around a minus 105 road dog. And very clearly, we've gotten to a pick'em or even gone dog to fave in favor of Washington. So, we've seen this line flip in favor of the Nats. Nationals went from a minus 105 road dog to now a minus 110 pick'em or even a minus 115 road favorite. So we're looking at a classic dog to fave line move or dog to pick'em. Either way, line is moving toward Washington here. Tells me smart money on the Nats. DraftKings, Nationals are taking in 74% of moneyline bets, but 81% of moneyline dollars. Over at Circa, the Nats are getting 75% of bets, 93% of dollars. So low bets, higher dollars, line move, all in favor of the Nats. This is interesting too. When the line moves in favor of the Nationals, when they're facing a below 500 team, so they're playing a bad team and the line's moving in their direction, the market's with them, the Nats are 15-10, 60% win rate, 17% ROI this year. Going to bank on Washington's offense, hopefully, to show up once again tonight. They've scored 552 runs on the year. Colorado has scored 487 runs. You also have seen Michael Lorenzen really struggle here. On the road, 5.04 ERA, but at Coors Field, 7.78 ERA. Nationals, meanwhile, 30-19 on the road. That's the third best road record in baseball. Meanwhile, the Rockies are 23-28 at home. That's the sixth worst home record in baseball. So open as Colorado favored. We're now pick 'em or hopping the fence to Washington favored. We got good splits, good system matches, fade Lorenzen. And oh, by the way, popped open Rhythm, and this was the game I was talking about. Rhythm really is high on the Nats tonight. All three Rhythm models are lighting up on Washington, and two of the three are Green Star Smart Signal recommendations. So that's really the best of the best. The AI model produces quote-unquote leans or, fully go, fire away, recommended plays. And two of those, all three are on the Nats, but two of those really high-powered plays are also on Washington. So shop around, guys. I found the Nats minus 108, kind of a short chalk number, a short pick'em number. Definitely try to get that best price because a lot of books are minus 110, even minus 115. Let's go Nationals. Last bet of the night. Let's go out west, Pacific Northwest. Last game of the night, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time, where the Seattle Mariners are hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the Mariners come in 51-50, dominated last night's interleague series opener 8-0, cruising as a minus 150 home favorite. Tonight's rematch, we got the Reds, who are 45-54, going with the righty Chase Burns, 11-1, 2.54 ERA. Meanwhile, the Mariners are going with the righty Luis Castillo. He's 3-8 with a 4.93 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened Seattle around a minus 115 home favorite, Cincinnati around a minus 105 road dog. And we just talked a second ago about Colorado, minus 115 home favorite. We saw that line flip toward Washington. Well, this situation is intriguing because the public doesn't know what to do. Seattle's got the better record, but Chase Burns is a great pitcher, so where are we going with this one? If you look at DK, tickets are right down the middle. The money line splits right down the middle, 50-50. But what do we always talk about? 50-50 line moves. In a vacuum, theoretically, if the bets are even, really the line shouldn't move at all because you would assume the odds makers set a perfect number, No need to bring it up or down. They've got great two-way action. So no matter what happens, they're going to come through winning with the juice. However, sometimes you got a 50-50 ticket split, yet you see a line move. That's really intriguing to me because it tells me even though the public doesn't know what to do, smart money is taking a position. And it looks to be taking a position tonight on the Mariners. I'm going Mariners, guys, because it's 50-50 at DK, yet this line did move up towards Seattle. Minus 115 up to minus 120. I am now seeing one book at minus 125. I jumped on Mariners minus 115 at Bally Bet, so try to get the best number you can. But while DK is right down the middle 50-50, you look over at Circa in Vegas, a super sharp, that should be a new word, a super sharp split on the Mariners. They're only getting 17% of moneyline bets, but 98% of moneyline dollars. That's a big, big low bets, higher dollar split. Tells me the sharps out there in Vegas hard on Seattle tonight. System match on Seattle, if you're an interleague home favorite off a win, minus 130 or less, and you're taking in line movement, so the Mariners would match, that system is 45-19, 70%, 29% ROI since 2025. So that spans 2 years at this point. Good system. Seattle is classic interleague favorite value, lack of familiarity, historically benefiting the better team who's expected to win, but then also correlative betting. We have Seattle as a favorite low total. Total in this game is 7.5. So if your amount of expected runs scored, more likely to come from quote-unquote that better team. Mariners also have the better bullpen edge here in the pen. 3.53 ERA as a team. That's the fourth best bullpen in baseball versus 4.80 for the Reds. That's 25th. So one of the worst pens against one of the best pens, Seattle. Mariners also, knock on wood, play pretty good at home. 30-21 at home. That's the seventh best home record in baseball. Reds are 23-26 on the road. So 50-50. Public doesn't know what to do at DK, but the line's creeping up towards Seattle. They got a really good sharp split at Circa. We got some good system matches, correlative betting. And then also, if you pop open Juice Reel, this is your biggest sharp mush edge. 22% sharp mush edge in favor of Seattle. Then I did also see one rhythm recommendation also lighting up on Seattle. So stay up late with me. We'll get some I did it again. Sushi, sharp split, a super sharp split. We'll get some sushi, and we'll sweat the Mariners here tonight, guys. So I got Seattle minus 115 at Bally Bet. Again, shop around. Most books now minus 120, minus 125. So the Braves, the Nationals, the Mariners. Let's try to eke out, scratch and claw, get two out of these three. So that about does it for episode 552 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up, and I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the ups and the downs, the great wins, the hard losses, the blown saves by O'Brien. I don't know how the hell that guy made the All-Star team. I'm still annoyed by that. Isn't that the crazy thing about betting on sports? You go 2-1, you have a winning night, yet you're mad at the one loss. That's just how we are as bettors, I guess. But either way, guys, want to thank you all for the support and for listening. And if you would please help me grow this podcast just by doing something very simple. If you haven't done it yet, give this pod 5 stars on Spotify or iTunes. It really helps the rating. If you'd like to recommend the pod to a friend or retweet the pod or give it a like when I put it out on Twitter at Josh_insights each afternoon, any or all of those things would be very much appreciated. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet splits, system matches, taking a contrarian approach, trying to piece together the puzzle of what the numbers in the market is telling us. If this style of betting has appealed to you, it's provided you a blueprint to attack pretty much every sport now at this point, and you'd like to learn more about data-driven betting, or you'd like to drop some knowledge on someone else, introduce them to the data-driven model, I would love for you to go to Amazon.com and type in either the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Those are the 2 books that I've written. You can get them right off of Amazon. Bezos will drop them on your front porch with a drone. And if you want to give them 5 stars and a nice comment review on Amazon, you'd really be a hero. But then bring those books to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer. We'll sweat some more MLB together tonight. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? Well, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? There are 2 great sports betting apps that are just another box to check off when you're building a case, trying to make a bet. You have Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Then you have Juice Reel. So many great features. You can sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action. It'll give you a nice little calendar each day with your one loss and your units won. So it keeps you honest. Great details on your performance. But then also you can get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, Sharp Mush indicators, arbitrage plays, shop for the best line futures, all available on Juice Reel. And if you really want to be a hero and you enjoy the pod, you know it's free, right? Well, if you want to tip your podcast host, contribute to my daughter's child care fund, I would love for you to sign up for a week or more of the best bet picks. You'll get them directly from Juice Reel as soon as I make the bet. My books are synced up. They get posted to the ASG podcast page. You download Juice Reel. You click buy, sell, bottom right corner, little search box, type in ASG. Boom. You can do a 7-day free trial. Then you could do a full week for $9.99 or a full month for $24.99. And you'll get those plays immediately, hopefully beat some closing lines. But those of you who have already signed up or are thinking about it, I appreciate you. Thank you. It really does mean a lot to me. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't, you need one. It's such a critical tool. Honestly, I don't know how people bet without a live odds page because you got to know what's going on in the market. What did the line open at? If you're betting a game and you can't tell me what the line opened at, or again, give me the book with the best number, or hey, where do I find live in-game wagering odds? If you can't answer those questions, you're really hurting yourself. Betting is hard enough. If you don't have the ability to track the market, identify steam, pick off the best numbers, you're only making it that much harder. So I really enjoy using Odds Logic. If you need a live odds page, maybe you have one and it's expensive, or maybe you have one and it's free but it's slow and you don't know where the data is coming from and it's unreliable. Either way, give Odds Logic a shot. I have a special link for you, oddslogic.com/Josh123. That's going to give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. So that about does it for episode 552 of the ASG pod on a big Tuesday. As always, guys, 2 final thoughts. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, or of course in my neck of the woods in Massachusetts, on the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa, wherever it may be. You can walk up to me, show me a Red Sox 14 straight ticket, show me a Nationals ticket, whatever you do. That freaking closer on the Cardinals blowing it. That annoys you guys. I'm sorry. That just annoys you. But either way, we'll take the winning night. We'll reinvest it to tonight. So coming off a 2-1 or a 1-2, a 3-0 or an 0-3, a winning night, a losing night, a hot streak, a cold streak. We just can't get too high when things are good or too low when things are bad. We got to stay the course, think long term, discipline with our bankroll management, protect our units, only get down when we find an edge. And we're looking for games that fit our model against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So I hope everyone has a great Tuesday night. We'll be right back at it for tomorrow. That'll be a big hump day edition, episode 553 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Tuesday night.